Hi there, it's Lisa from Juju Crafts. I'm going to share with you my steampunk loaded envelope that I did for Loaded Envelopes Galore. It's a Facebook group, and thought I would just skim over it, so I will connect the camera somewhere where it'll be stable here in a second so it's not all shaky and driving you crazy. But thought this would be easier just to give you a roundabout of everything that's on here in case you can't see all of it whenever I stick the camera in one location. Here is little clay things there and how it works together. I used the Sizzix Pro die for, it's a giant gear. I think it's by Fabry. It's Sizzix, but it's Fabry, or F-A-B-R-I or something like that, for people who make a lot of quilts. But I don't make quilts, but I play with a lot of paper. And you can see that I've made 3 of those. I got my anvil behind there. So if you're wondering what's holding it up, that's not part of the envelope, that's my anvil. So I will lay this down and give you the what's for on what I made with it, because I know whenever I'm watching other videos it's great for me to get ideas on what other people made so I can get some ideas. I'll be right back and show you what's in it. The other swap group that I belong to, Mini Album Scraps, had given us a challenge, or maybe it wasn't a challenge, it was just more of a thought of start using your swaps. Because most of us have swaps and we let them sit in our drawers, or we stick them on walls, or you know, who knows, eventually they end up getting tore up or whatever the case may be. And so I thought that was a great idea. Start using your swaps. You know, if you have to alter them a little bit, or send them off to somebody, or send them as gifts, or use them in other swaps. So that's what I did with this one as well. And start just by showing you the altar doll. Like I said, everything in here was part of the requirements, pretty much, almost all of it anyway. And usually I try to fit everything into the loaded envelope, but since this wasn't quite an envelope, I just did the best I could. So the altered doll, altered steampunk doll, it didn't have to be moving, but I sort of like having those. This big brad, I guess what you call it, paper fastener right here, was part of a old 1940s brad box that I had, so it's sort of fun to use little stuff like that. But I made her little wings. Like I said, if you have any questions on any of the things I use, instead of just going through and trying to say this is what this is what this is, I might mention 1 or 2 things here and there. But if you have any questions about anything, just send me a message and I will answer you back and tell you what it is and where I got it. Got the little world for a butt, and I have to say, when I was making this, it was the first part of the swap that I made. The only thing I could think of was Baby's Got Back. So I was singing that song, you know, making her dance all the way across the table, and I was laughing quite well with it. The swap leader said that we had to use on the altar doll either some music or some sort of you know, paper, like with writing with a book on it. So that made it a little hard for me, so I had to figure out how to do that, because none of that matched with my doll that I had planned, or that I'd wanted to make. So instead I just made her a little fan that she could pack around, and that's actually a page of an old tore up Louis L'Amour book. So it's actually a little western book in there, and that piece of filigree you'll never find, because that's just filigree that I literally cut into pieces to make it look like it was a little fan holder. I thought she was a lot of fun. She's from that the Steampunk Graphic 45 paper. I can't remember what it's called. Is it Steampunk Debutante or something like that? And just little minor, little itty bitty teeny weeny itty bitty gear for her eyeball. And I just try to make as much of her moving as I possibly could, so whoever gets her can have a lot of fun. Her with her big old world bum bum. It really makes me happy. And here's the part that I totally redid. These were 3 tags that I love dearly, that I've had some of them for a year, 2 years, 3 years. I think one of them I've even had for 3 years. And I've had them in my drawers, and I've looked at them, and I'm trying to downsize and get things a little bit more organized. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to alter them a little bit and send them off in this steampunk swap. This was a tag that I got from Julie over at Mini Album Scraps. I don't want to say their whole names in case they don't appreciate that. And she'd done this so beautifully, and it was so wonderful. And the little thing that was down here she had on it, it sort of got loose with the glue, so I just added a little rosette with some other foil-like paper and added a few different flowers to it. And most of this was, she had already had this piece on here, and I thought that was just so beautiful. And she'd even put a background in it, so I just hope that whoever gets these truly enjoys them as much as I have enjoyed them. And just such well-made items. The ladies are so wonderful. Look how beautiful that is. And it's not, like I said, some of this isn't my work. There's only a few things that I added on here, and some of it was Julie's, and I hated getting rid of it, and I kept looking at it thinking, okay, I gotta downsize. I've had this for, you know, I think it's 2 years now, At least it seems like it's been 2 years. And I just wanted to share it and let other people enjoy it as well. And the same with this one. Everybody knows that watches my videos, I love Ex Montano's work. And this is one of hers. And I have had this hanging over my craft table forever. And just the other day I knocked an end piece off of it and I was really sad. And so I decided, you know what, let's let somebody else enjoy it as well. And since we were challenged to use our swaps and either give them to other people or use them in some other way, I decided to let go of some of my pretties, my little preciouses. But I touched it up with a little bit more patina and changed around a few things and made a new flower for it and put in another little piece of steampunk goodness there. But I left a lot of it just the way she made it. So I want whoever gets it to know that Ex Montano made most of this. I just added some gears onto the back. I love the way that she did this. She did this little window with the three guys, the three steampunk looking guys that Tim Holtz has in his stamps. But if you get a chance, I'm going to have to look up her information. But I'm going to try my best to remember on this video to put down these ladies' YouTubes also, so you can go to their pages or to their channels and see what they've made. This one I think was Tinta Muhammad, and I can't remember what she calls her channel now. It seems like she started a new one. Watch me get everything stuck in here. Oh well, anyway, she had made this really cute little guy. I think this was 3 or 4 years ago that I've had this one for so long, just loving it and adoring it. Like I said, I just added a few other things onto it, and a little bit of colorings here and there and some glitters, and I love that little guy, that little printout. So cute. And she had this great key on there and this little tag, and I added a foiled gear and a few little dingles. What a great way, though. I'm sort of glad that they did challenge us to do that, because this way things get moved around and get to share more. And even though I love them so much, it's good to pass them along. Well, that was the requirement for the tags, was for 3 tags. And then there was to be 1 paper clip or 1 altered clothespin. And I did the paper clip, and I did one of the gigantic ones. If you're ever looking for these, of course you can probably find them on eBay or Amazon. I found this one at Tuesday morning. They had a box that was, I think it was like $5, but you got like 20 of these great big ones, which is still pretty expensive for me because I like to go really cheap. The wings and the corset and the nut and bolt are molds from resin, so it's actually really lightweight. It looks like it's really heavy, but it's not. The wings are from a mold from Amazon, and the corset and the nut were just molds that I made. Somebody sent me a little corset as an embellishment, and that they had molded, and so I made a mold from a mold. And then this was 2 bolts that I went out into the garage, and they were all rusty and gross, and I made a mold out of those. And so now these are just little plastic resiny pieces, and just how fun that is. I love it. And in fact, I keep thinking now I'm going to have to make me one, because I think this is just too much fun to not have on a book. Be my bookmarker. I love that too. It's like 6 inches across, I think. 6 inches or 6 1/4. So it's a really big bookmark. This was so cute. I found this on eBay. I put on it because at first I wouldn't have thought that's what it was. It's an ink pen. No, I'm an ink pen. But it's a key. And the bottom comes off. And it's an ink pen. How fun is that? The 2 other parts of the requirements were 2 wands. One of them had to be like a paper doll. And I was trying to figure out how to make her legs. And I thought, you know what? She's steampunk. She doesn't have to have legs. She has beads. She's a half of a girl. And this, of course, is from the Graphic 45 paper line as well. And 2 molded wings, well actually 4 molded wings, because I don't like unfinished things as much as I can possibly do it. So I finished off the back as well. Some more steampunk. This is another Biggs die. I think it's another Fabry die with a gear. I mean, hey, if you got the big one, you got to have the medium one, right? This was a piece that I took out of, I think it was out of one of those Xyrons, the old ones, the cartridges, the refill cartridges. This was on the side, so I made a mold of it because it looks great. So her little arms all move, and just put little glossy accents on there. Well, I think it's Tim Holtz stuff. I love it. I said I wasn't going to name off everything, but when you look at things and you start talking about them, that's the first thing that comes to your mind. And then my other gigantic wand. It's really heavy, by the way, so I put a wooden dowel on the bottom of it. It has Sandra Evertson's things. I kept on to that forever, and I finally added in some copper. I can't remember. I know I'm pronouncing her name horribly wrong. But anyway, brain dead. Anyway, that's stuff. Yeah, and it's really good stuff. And I put a little lock inside of it. It did have a little guy in there. And on the back, I left it semi-plain. This is the metallic and glitter metals paper from Crafter's Companion. It is, to me, so far, what I found, the best metallic papers. They come in packages of glitter, matte, and gloss. And you get like, 40 to 60 sheets for like 20 bucks. And it is just great quality. Great quality paper. It die cuts well, especially with the Big C dies. It does not cut real well in like a big shot or anything like that. If you're doing fine cuts, it works amazing in the Gemini. I battled so many times to get the Gemini because I thought I have a Big Shot, I have a Big Shot Pro, I had a Cuttlebug, definitely don't need another die cut machine. I kept seeing Sandra, who is their spokesperson. Well, actually I think she's also their founder. Watch me saying her name wrong too, but anyway, always saying, hey, you can cut your fine dies with this, the detailed dies. And I was thinking, yeah, bull hockey. But you know what? She was right. The fine detailed dies just slide right through them like butter. So anyway, that's the big die. And then I'll just show you a little bit here of some of the embellishments I put on, and then I'll show you some of the extra goodies that I'm putting in there with it. Let's see if I can get this down here a little bit better where the light's not so reflective. Just a little gear things. Some of it, I don't think that moves. Yeah, it does move. It's a little spinny, but it doesn't spin all the way around. Still fun. This is some die cuts, and I put them together with hot glue, and I let the hot glue dry and then put a little more hot glue on it so it would give it more dimension, and so it would be more sturdy than Pop Dots. So you can see it's like pretty thick there. The construction of this, it's actually really sturdy. It's basically a box. I put one of the medium dies in there, 3 of the giant dies, just some paper that I had. This is chipboard or cardboard, about the size, about the thickness of, what do you call it, cereal boxes. And then I made a clay top hat with some fun little details on it. It's a little dingle. Made a little dice out of clay, a little die, I guess, out of clay. Cut some of the gears in half to stick in there. Made a little belt, and then I had some belt charms, and so, well, they're belt buckle charms, so I try to make it look as much as I could like the buckle was supposed to be on there. And it did pretty okay. It's a little wompy and a little ski-wampus. Like I said, I'm no professional at this kind of stuff, so I just do the best I can. I have fun with it, and I just hope that whoever gets it enjoys it. And I also don't mind if they take things apart, if they share them, if they pass them along, even in just their next swap. I think swapping is to enjoy. It's not to sit there and place rules and have stress about. So this is just Crackle. Just Crackle. I painted it black, Crackle, and then the brown. And then, like I said, the sand and the E6000 where I made my own rust paste. So that's all of that, and then I'll be right back to show you what else I'm putting in there. And I forgot to show you the back. The back is one of those giant dies. I did not put any of the rust paste on it because I was afraid it would just flake off as they were laid on the back. And another little bit of, there's my heavy nose breather kitty. Another little metal embellishment. And it does also have a dingle that I received in a swap, and I altered it just a little bit. Fun little dingle with a Tim Holtz clasp on it. This one I've had for so long now. I'm not sure who sent that one to me. How sad is that? That's why it's great to label things. I just haven't been very good at that. Okay, so some of the goodies that I'm adding in for my partner is this little thing. I sort of altered it. This was originally a Amy Lobb, I think, or was it a Susan Hasmer piece? Anyway, it came from Michael's, and it came with this beautiful crown. I added a gear to the top. I added some wings to her, and I added a little bird cage, and that way the bird cage can open up so she can put some candies in it, give someone else as a gift, or hang it from somewhere else if she wishes. I put it on this cute little purse, and that purse is filled with some goodies. I made this little steampunk thing not too long ago, but a while back, enough to where I was like, what am I going to do with it? And now I found a reason. I just made this out of some copper metal. It's a really thin plate. Cut out a Tim Holtz die, cut out a little window, punched some holes in it. I actually used the the torches, little torches, and burned it so it would give it some more coloration. And just took some cutouts of Miriam Smith's papers and a few other papers to make some little steampunk book things in there, and still left it, you know, where she could add a few things on there if she wants. And the same thing with the back, just burned it. This is also where you can see this little circle. I took one of Tim Holt's stencils, and I put some of the soldering flux over it. So then when I burned it, I found out this was like my trial and error kind of piece right here. That's what it was made for. So now I know that whenever I put flux through a stencil and I take my torch and burn that metal, I will have that great little design. It may not be exactly perfect, but it's fun. Fun stuff. So I'll show you what's in there in a second. This I had made for another swap, and it just seemed to be the great thing to pass along. I had made me one, and so I thought I would include the one that I made to my swap partner, since I'm trying to downsize and get some things under control, because I got quite the horde going on now. But you can see how the rust paste that I used here a while back was Finnabair rust paste, and it is great. I love it, and if you can afford it, get it, because it's wonderful and it's fast and it's easy. It comes in these cute little jars. It doesn't have as thick of a texture as what I made for my loaded envelope, but it is a really thin one, and a lot of people don't like that really thick texture like I do. This is just heating and air conditioning duct tape. It's not duct tape, it's ventilation tape, so it's actually aluminum. Run it through an embossing machine. Put it on, touched it with some black acrylic paint, rubbed it off, threw on some rust. This is a little nightlight. I can't remember if I showed that at the beginning of this video, so if I did, you could see it twice. Anyway, it's an old nightlight. And so, I'm trying to make it look like a stovepipe on the inside with a little fire. So I took my tea light and covered it over in the aluminum as well, a little darkness in there, and put some alcohol ink on my little flame so it looks all red like a fire. And then I made it where the these are Iams roses. Made it where if the battery goes out, she can change out the battery here if she wants to. And just had some fun sticking some great pieces on there and clobbering them up with some rust. These are some stick pins that I got in a swap, and it's always fun to use those, because a lot of times we just leave stuff sticking in drawers. Hey ladies, pull out those swaps, use them for other people if they're pretty, and if you already have used them and enjoyed them for so many years that now they're in your drawers. How fun is that? It makes me happy, and it makes me happy to send it on too. You know, one of the things that a lot of people have asked on several of these sites I've been on is, what do you include with your swaps? Well, first and foremost, we should always read the requirements and add in everything that the requirements state. After the requirements, nothing is expected. I mean, you're not expected to add in extras unless the swap says to. So, I know I have seen in some situations where I've seen people say, oh, I sent this great swap and I only got back the minimum. Well, don't expect more. If you give more, you should do it from the goodness of your heart. Like right now, if I got back a swap and it had the minimum, and even if it was just, you know, plainer stuff, I would be happy for one reason, because I know that that person truly enjoyed making it. And to me, that's what makes real art. Real art comes from your heart. It really, really, truly does. Now, if you have somebody who just sticks a sticker on something on a piece of paper, yeah, that's not so good. But if you can tell that they put some effort into it, just love it. Love the person that they are. Love what you've done. And one thing I hate is to send off some stuff and then get back a swap. I think worse than getting a swap back that doesn't have, that somebody didn't put effort into, was somebody who sends you something with so much stuff that you feel bad and feel guilty. And I've done that to people, and I've had that done to me. But at the same time, just keep in mind, when somebody sends you extras, they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart. They're doing it because they want to. And in this case, I wanted to, because I spoke with a lady who is getting this swap, and she's just wonderful, and she said that she had grandchildren, and so I had to include this. I've had this in my stuff for over a month. I don't have grandkids. I have a grand pig. My son informed me that his guinea pig is the only grandchild I'm ever going to get. He's 20 years old, and right now I believe him. So, and he's not that old, so I'm good with that. But anyway, I don't know if I will ever have grandchildren. But I had this little baby shoe die. I've never used it, and I just loved it. I fell in love with it, and I bought it because I'm a hoarder, a craft hoarder, and I don't hoard anything else. Don't hoard shoes, don't hoard pocketbooks. I do have quite a bunch of umbrellas. I love umbrellas. But I had this die, and I kept looking at it thinking, why did you buy this die? Well, now I know. It was to send off to this lady who has little grandbabies, and now she can make little bitty shoes. This is a diamond pressed ink pad. It's still sealed, and I haven't had it very long, and I just thought, you know what? I am probably never going to use it because I have other ones, and if she gets it and she has lots of ink pads, she can pass it on to somebody else. But if not, there's our nice little black ink pad. Little smash journal lion. I thought he was so cute with his glasses on. Some little bling blings. Everybody needs bling blings. I'm not too sure if you can ever have too many bling blings. I actually bought this for me to use on this swap. I didn't use it on this swap. So I thought, well, why don't I just send it to my swap partner? It's the wood laser chipboard pieces. And I think, oh, look how great those are. They're just so good and embellished. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I actually looked at it for a while and thought, I should add that to my hoard. Then I realized my hoard is big enough as it is. Let's share. Sorry for my little scratches on my arms. I promise you, it's just kitty cat scratches. These were given to me a while back, and I love them. And I had kept them in my hoard waiting to use them, and I have not. So I'm passing them along. So I didn't buy this, but just know that whoever gave them to me, that they are getting used. And I'm saying that out loud because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want anybody to see that they gave it to me and I'm passing it on. Oh, baloney. You know what? If you're not going to use it, pass it along. Don't keep it in your drawers. These little things I did buy. Little fun stuff. Love these little stamps. Bought them for me. Haven't used them. And thought, you know what? I'm going to share them. Just love little word stamps, and I love that little hand. He looked a little steampunk. That's why he's in there. Little steampunk key. Bought this for me too, by the way. Didn't use it on this swap, so I thought, you know, if I didn't use it on the swap, pass it along so my swap partner can enjoy it. Metal flower, again, purchased for the swap. Didn't use it, so you get it. Love that. All these little strings coming off the purse. Distress glitter I did buy as a gift for the swaps. Got it. It's a Tim Holtz distress glitter, and I love this distress glitter because even if you use it as the color it is, it looks amazing. But you can also paint it or put alcohol inks or patinas on it, and it looks great as well. Did it? Oh, haha. Yes, this is fun. Okay. This, in case my swap partner gets in, goes, what the crud is this, and why did she give it to me? I have 2 of these, and since it was a steampunk swap, I thought, I'm going to go grab another one. I got them from the Army Surplus store. They are jeweler's loops, and I have used this so many times when I'm working on something and I can't see the fine details, or if I get jewelry and I can't read what's on them. You hold this end up right on your eyeball, and then you put your other piece really close, and you can see 10 times magnification. It also helps you when you're getting splinters out, or when you're looking at little gear things or little clock gears and you're wanting to see how they connect and all that fun stuff. So anyway, got your little jeweler's loop. Anyway, that's my fun stuff for my steampunk swap. Hope you guys enjoy just looking at what I throw in mine, and I hope you post videos of what you throw in yours. Thanks so much. I almost forgot my little steampunk octi. I made a little octopus out of epoxy, and decided I would put him in there for my swap partner as well. Thought he turned out really cute. He's a little octopus who's sitting in his own little Tide Pod. Don't know if my camera's going to pick him up real good or if it's going to be too dark, but because he's sort of dark. Let's see here. Is that too much light? Probably, but we'll see. So anyway, little steampunk octopus. He's got all kinds of legs going in all different directions. Makes me so happy. He's got so many little different features, and I always like to make things where that when you look at them, you have to keep looking and you'll find new things here and there. New little gears. Like right here's a bunch of little gears from the little clock gears. Got a little top hat on. Let me see if I can turn him around where you can see him. Got little gears in his eyes. A little sign that says be unique. He's in his own little tide pool. Little steampunk octi. I'm going to take off the camera and go around it because it might be easier. And it might be worse. It might make you seasick. We'll see. He's got all kinds of little gears on his hat. He's got his little pipe. A little pipe. A little pipe makes me happy. That's one of the charms from, I'm not sure if it's Beads Landing or what it is, but you can get them at Michael's. They come with like top hats and corsets and little train. He's got his little glasses on. That was also one of the charms, so he got glasses. Definitely no clay artist, but I can make tentacles. I can roll out a snake and I make a ball. I thought he turned out really cute. He's got a little seahorse in his hat. I love nautical steampunk, and a lot of people don't really like the nautical steampunk so much, so you don't see too many nautical steampunk swaps. Let's see, we're getting too out of focus there. Let's see here. We got a little. That is a really old Karen Foster charm. Came with some stuff, so I made some little holes in my epoxy so I could put some brads on a few of these things. Got a little propeller, a little anchor. Just fun stuff. Let me get back further. I never know how to operate cameras. Again, I'm definitely no perfectionist, no professional. So I'm sorry if my videography, if that's what you want to call it, doesn't work great. Let's see, if you get closer, does it work? Nope. Okay. That's worth a try, right? But anyway, that's little Steampunk Octi. He's a happy little guy. Bye, Steampunk Octi. Anyway, he'll be in the box to my swap partner. Hope she enjoys him. And if not, give him to somebody who might.